How you guys doing? This is Chuck at Chuck Burns for USA. You're watching my channel. Thank you very much. I'm going to talk about two videos today. The first one I'm going to do today to upload is I want to do some quick kind of. I had some people ask me on Twitter recently and out in the streets. I had some people ask me, got in a conversation with them about you know, how as a Republican or a conservative libertarian, I was able to find certain things okay and how they fit into that belief system that I have in that being in that party or that affiliation. And I ended up turning it on them and saying, well, why do you have your beliefs the way you do? Why you believe the way you do? I mean, because really, you're the one contradicting yourself. And that was the. I'm not gonna do that one first. That was gun control. Actually, I'll do it right now. That's the gun control one. See, gun control, it's this thing Republicans believe, and this goes back to our founding fathers, the different philosophers they read, There's Voltaire, Rousseau, they believe different things. One of them believed that man was inherently good and society corrupted us, the evil influences of the things and the men around us, as a whole, this evil society made us make bad decisions. Well, that's incorrect, I mean, if you look at the history of the world, we're not good people striving to do bad. We're people that are inherently bad, and we strive to do good. That's why making the right decision is always the harder decision to make. It's easier to do the bad thing, and not as easy to do the good thing. I think that would be obvious, but some people, I guess, it's not. So, that being said, it's our actions that are good or bad. If society's not the thing, and things aren't making us make bad choices, what is it? It's our choices that are good or bad. It's what we do with ourselves that is of negative or positive influence on the world and everything around us, and on what results we get in life as a whole. So the whole thing with gun control, how that relates, is that the gun doesn't go in a liquor store and rob the liquor store owner himself. It doesn't like on the buttstock, like popping in, bang, 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 bouncing on the buttstock, goes and it leans forward a little bit and like aims itself at the counter and goes, "Give me your money." Can't talk. It's a gun. Can't bounce. It's got to have somebody carried in there, point at the guy, say, "Empty the cash register, motherfucker." And the guy, "No problem, dude. Just don't kill me." But the gun didn't do that. A person made that decision. His negative actions dictate what the gun does. It's just as much as positive actions could have totally dictated what the gun did. If the gun was in the hands of the store owner or whatever that's giving the gun point out, he could pull his gun out and say, "No, over my dead body." Most criminals would probably take off and run because they really don't want to shoot anybody. I mean, they don't want to go to prison. They're hoping you are a chicken shit and just throw the money, run away. Or they duck and you run away with the money. So, in short, how this relates to drugs and gun control is that, see, you have Republicans on one side, the guns issue, saying items are inanimate and they don't affect people. Our choices are good or bad, and that determines the punishment, or you could say the results, because it doesn't have to be a punishment necessarily if you make the right decision, but it determines what we get, our actions. Go have a beer, take a taxi home, you're fine. You go out, have a beer, drive home, you're too drunk, hit somebody, you go to jail. I frankly think that there's no manslaughter for that. I think that should be second-degree murder right off the bat. You know why? Because everybody knows these days how dangerous drinking and driving is. Get frickin' real. Alright? Well, I know the poor guy killed him. Sorry, I mean to do it. No. You're drunk and you got drunk and you went and drove. Second-degree murder. Do it again. First degree. 25 to life. It seems a little harsh, but with more freedom, one must have more responsibility or be more culpable, you could say, for his actions. Now, I'll loop this in now. Where I'm going with the drug debate with the guns is that, you see, now, Republicans, then they go to the drug issue and they say, well, people, if drugs are illegal and people don't have that influence, they'll make good decisions. So what are you trying to say there? You're saying, actually, that people are inherently good and the drug is bad, and its negative influence creates people and turns them into devils, like some Reefer Madness movie back in the day that they used to watch, before they were all taken out of the ignorance of their life, the ignorance of the real facts of the issue. So I mean, either way, I guess I digress. The fact of the matter is, in two different arguments, you have one thing where the object is inanimate, is of no consequence, the actions are what is of consequence. Even their issue, you have this influential item that exerts this power over people, and without it there, people would be good. Wouldn't make that bad decision, so to speak. So, I mean, the problem with that is that if you can't see it already, is it's not congruent with each other. You know, you have to either look at people's actions and the responsibility of what happens solely on them or not. You can't pick and choose how you apply your belief system, because it's not really an ideal or a belief system, because it's not, you just taking it and say, oh, I like it where it fits in there, I like it where it fits in over here, but I don't like it right there, so I'm not going to put it right there, I'm just going to keep it right here. But when you do that, you're jeopardizing the whole foundation that the belief system sits on, the whole preconceived notion of your, you know, of the integrity of it. Really is just being, you've undermined it. You've taken one thing that works over here that you agree with, and you've taken it over here now, but not taken yourself over here, but not brought this belief with you. See, that's a problem. You have to have a congruent belief system. You have to have, everything has to actually work together. It has to be a system. Ayn Rand believed in this big time, you know. Your whole belief system is a solid set. It's a set of principles, and they work together, and they're integral to each other, and they're fundamentally in support of each other. And without that, you know, your whole system is jeopardized. And then, you know, then what that leads to is you have to compromise it, because you already have in some areas, you know, when you get in the fight with the other side. And when you do that, really, I mean, then the subjectivists own you if you ever compromise your beliefs, and if you're doing it for them, you're done. Because what does subjectivists believe? They believe there's no universal truth, that everything is relative. Every morality is relative. You know, it's like your truth is just your truth, and that's it. It's relative. But and how they get you is, you know, if you stand all firm and everything like this, and you're all adamant about what you believe, then they get you to compromise a little bit. Well, all I can say is, how is your truth, and that you know to be true, really that important to you, or really, I mean anything? If you ever already compromised it yourself, if you're willing to give up part of it to me, you know, I mean, you must not really think it's that true. You must say, well, there is some flaws in it. And so you concede a little bit. Then the subjectivists, like I said, they have you because now you're doing their work for them. You are making your truth not whole. And when you do that, they can say, well, see, look at, you've admitted now that your truth isn't whole. There's problems with it because you've conceded that point to me. And that's the slippery slope. That's why I hate the word compromise. And when an issue like this is perfect, because it shows an example of us compromising ourselves without anybody asking us to do it or anybody doing it to us doing it outside of any exterior influence to ourselves as a party. I'm going to hear Christian conservatives out there going, oh, drugs are bad. Oh, no. People's actions are bad, right? So there's people who can't have one drink. One drink. Because if they do, we all know that those people exist. They have one drink. They're done. They're going to fall off the wagon. And what happens when they fall off the wagon is never pretty. In fact, it's usually bad. People get hurt. And those people do exist, and there's no denying that. But there's people that can have a beer. They can have a three, 4 beers every day after work. They will never beat their wives, never hurt their kids, be loving parents, you know, and never get drunk, but enjoy a beer. But this guy has one drop and he's off the wagon. He's lost his mind. That's just the way of the world. We're all different. We're all geared differently. We're all built differently. I mean, we are all equal, you know, created by God and all that good stuff, yeah. But, you know, you can't admit that some humans are at a deficit to others in certain areas. That's why there's mentally handicapped people that are born that way in this world. They're obviously starting out at a deficit. We are all born with slightly different capabilities, abilities, weaknesses, and strengths. And we have to understand those things and become better people. And that's just the way it is. No, well, what about anything? That's just the way it is. You just have to, that's how you have to live. You say, I have these flaws, I understand that. I don't have them over here, though, but I have them here. I have to be aware of where my weaknesses are. I have to act accordingly. So Republicans really, I mean, they should be the party that's in favor of drugs, and Democrats should be the party that's in favor of regulating drugs. It's kind of backwards. They both have the same, and these two parties, our two main parties in our country, have this on the same two subjects, the exact opposite situations, but really on the same two issues. I mean, it's like there's like a complete incongruent congruency. It's like they're congruent in the where they have a problem, but they're both incongruent with their own beliefs. It's like, you know, because I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, when you look at the Republican side, you know, it's all about, you know, people are inherently evil and we strive to do good. We try to do good, but this thing has nothing to do with me doing good. It's a decision I make. The liberals want to believe that everybody's good at heart and it's only society that corrupts, and they think that things corrupt. So, I mean, they should be the ones against drugs because the drug corrupts people's mind then, right? That if you're going to apply your belief system whole and not pick and choose where it's applied, because picking, I'm going to say this and be done, maybe not right away, but real soon here, is that picking and choosing where you apply your belief system is like this. It's like picking different verses of the Bible you like and say, or don't like, and say, I'm not going to listen to those. Because if God is really God, God cannot be picked and choose. God is what He is, and He will be that, and there is nothing you can do about that, because He's not really a God if you've taken parts you don't like and fit it in this box that you're comfortable with. Because if a God is not something that man can alter or change. And that's what happens when you do that when you take that out of your belief systems and you pick and choose. You've taken this ideal, this thing that you hold true over here, and you say, well, I'm not going to apply it over here. Even though I know this to be true, I'm going to compromise my truth because of some misguided moral precept that I think I have to abide by. And then, like I said, the liberal subjectivists have you at that point. You have compromised your belief system for them, which leads them right through the door saying, well, your truth isn't that great then, because look at you, you're already just screwing it up already. I mean, hey, it must not be that important. Might just give me a little more inches, come my way a little more. I mean, you've already come a little bit, might come some more. Truth obviously isn't that much of an important thing to you. Come on, buddy. Come on, guy. Now, that's why you can't do that. You can never compromise. Your truth is yours and is only your and is yours alone. And those of us on the side of the Constitution and God, and not even God, even the atheists, I'll even bring them in here, but as long as they're on the constitutional side of things, you can stand there with that moral rectitude, knowing that you are right beyond a shadow of a doubt, without a question, and say, yeah, this is what I believe, this is my truth, it is congruent throughout my belief system, applied evenly, without picking and choosing. When I do not like it to apply to a certain issue, I apply it equally and evenly to all things because I do not want to jeopardize what I have built and therefore undermine my whole foundation. And I stand on that. That's what me personally, I can stand on that. And I can say, you know what, I am congruent in every way, shape, and form. And there's things you may not like, but it's because you put your pre-existing, preconceived notions of right and wrong. That some are false, a lot are right, because we agree on a lot of things. If you watch my video, probably, but you put your preconceived notions onto something. So in the gun control and the drug issue, Republicans have it wrong, Democrats have it wrong too. If you're a Democrat, I mean, things are inanimate, or they're not. They're negative, evil, influential voodoo things that control your mind, or they're not. So I hope it's been informative. I hope it's opened your perspective up if you're a Republican. I hope if you're a Democrat, you're going, God, I'm on the wrong side of things. I may be a Republican now because I don't smoke dope. Come over here. We like it. You can be on my team now, right? But either way, thank you very much, guys, for watching. And I hope, like I said, this is informative. I'm doing another video right after this. It's homosexuality, and now it fits into the how Republicans and conservatives can deal with it, because I think they're not somebody that we couldn't have in the party. I think there's differences that the Christians don't like, and I don't like them either, but people are people, and you have to treat people well. I think that's the case. So this is Chuck Burns, Chuck Burns for America, or for the USA, actually. I keep saying America, but nobody's going to find my YouTube channel. Chuck Burns for USA, and it's the number 4, not FOR, for USA. And thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe if you like it. Share it with a friend. Pass it on. I just started it the other day. I had 0 subscribers, and I got 22, and it's been like a week or two. I mean, 22 in a week or two. I mean, for me, that's good. Hey, I would love to have 1,000. But I'll take what I get. Thank you, and I appreciate your time, because I can't give it back. So thank you for spending it with me.